Here's 5 things I've noticed that makes a really good conversationalist. And this is coming from somebody who was born an introvert, was trained to be an extrovert, and now feels very confident holding my own in conversations. Still an introvert at heart, but I do have a daughter who is incredibly extroverted now, and I feel like she's noticed these things. One is approach first. If you've read like the 48 Laws of Power or anything kind of more self-serving and putting you in a position of power, this is going to be contradictory. But if your goal is to feel like a very safe human being to people and have deep relationships, that's where we're going with this. First of all, when your kid sees you approaching other people first, you're showing your kid that you're very confident holding your own, having conversations, and you're just a people person. They adopt that. But also, you're showing the person that you're going up to that you're just there to love them. Now, approaching other people first might seem like you're risking rejection, and you might have rejection, but you're also making sure that you're conquering that risk so that you feel very inviting, very safe, and a very warm personality. Personally, when somebody approaches me first, I always feel loved. Remembering a fact about someone, I experienced this past weekend where I met somebody who had like a leadership role, and I introduced myself and they said my name 2 times over, like, "Oh, it's interesting you said that, Hannah," or "This is what I think about that, Hannah," and I knew it was because they were going to remember my name. They were like training their mind on how do I remember this person's name when I cross paths with them again, and that's a huge sign of intelligence. Remembering somebody's birthday, their kids, the kids' ages, the thing that they're doing for a job or they're passionate about, all of those show that when you bring that back up in a conversation, that you remembered that about someone, that you valued them. Huge sign of social intelligence. Never saying an unkind thing about somebody? Hard, because we live in a gossip-centered culture. Personally, I think gossip is the language of the bored, and if somebody starts going down that trail, correcting them, not in a way of like, "Hey, we don't gossip about them," but like turning it for good, shows that you respect that person's ton, you respect the person they're talking about, and you respect yourself and that you don't want to be in that situation. It also shows that person, even if they're like, "Ugh, I kind of want to talk about that," it shows them that you won't gossip about them. Because if you're going across the line of like, when somebody wrongs me, I'm going to gossip about them, or when I'm bored or I'm just judgmental, like it shows that person that you are capable of gossiping about them, and then it shows them that you're not a safe person. And remember, our goal here is to be a safe person and also show our kids that we are safe for them too. That's why we don't gossip about them, but that's a whole other story for another time. Leave them knowing your excitement. That means when you are exiting a conversation, always leave somebody with an affirmation. If that is something that you talked about and you're like, "Hey, I'm really glad we talked about that. You are so wise and you have good, insightful thoughts." Or, "Hey, I loved seeing you. I'd love to see you again." Or, "When I see you, it feels so exciting and it makes me feel inspired." Things like that leave somebody without wondering, where did we leave off on the conversation? Did that person like me? We just live in a culture that is so full of insecurity and anxiety and honestly just overthinking.